She's been a criminal, an Avenger, an agent of AIM and S.H.I.E.L.D., and was a founding member of the original Thunderbolts team. Let's get into today's video and find out who is Songbird. Melissa Gold grew up surrounded by drama. Her father was an alcoholic and her mother was serving time in prison for robbery. So naturally, she was ridiculed and bullied at school about her mom being a jailbird. To escape the drama, she ran away from home and lived on the streets. To survive the street life, she created a new tough persona using her mother's name, Mimi. On the streets, she would meet and fall in love with a small-time crook. Mike, the crook, obviously didn't have the same feelings for her because when he was caught with stolen property, he pinned it on Melissa and she was sent to prison. In prison, Melissa would meet and become friends with Marion Pouncey, who is better known by her alias of Pound Cakes. When the two were released from prison, Marion recruited Melissa into the all-female wrestling team, the Grapplers. Unfortunately, the female wrestling circuit didn't pay very well, so the Grapplers at times moonlighted as criminals on the side to make a little extra cash. The Roxxon Oil Company would hire the group and then outfit them with enhancements to assist them in achieving the task of breaking into Project Pegasus. Melissa received bionic augmented vocal cords, which gave her the ability to emit sonic blast from her mouth, and she took on the code name of Screaming Mimi. The Project Pegasus mission would end in failure as Quasar, the Thing, and Giant Man would apprehend the group inside Project Pegasus. After serving some prison time, Melissa and the Grapplers would return to their wrestling careers. Melissa's return to wrestling would prove to be short-lived. After two of the Grapplers, Letha and Titania, were murdered by the vigilante Scourge, Melissa decided to leave the group and go her own way. Shortly after that, she was recruited by Baron Zemo to join his group known as the Masters of Evil. But as luck would have it, on her very first mission as a member of the team, she was captured and sent back to prison. She would then link up with a small-time supervillain known as Angar the Screamer. The two would commit robberies together and become romantically involved. But that would come to an end when Angar was shot as the duo was making their escape from a robbery. Angar died in Melissa's arms and she was devastated. She let out a scream of agony that lasted for almost an hour, destroying everything around her and severely damaging her augmented vocal cords. Then along came Baron Zemo, who was in the process of rebuilding his Masters of Evil, and he recruited Melissa back into the group. He had the Fixer rebuild and enhance Melissa's vocal cords using stolen technology from Ulysses Claw. She was then given the new codename of Songbird. Songbird can use her sonic powers in a variety of ways. She can use them to create sonic force fields and solid sound constructs. She often creates herself a set of wings which allow her to fly. She can emit a powerful sonic blast and can use her voice to subconsciously influence another's emotions. Now, just as Zemo completed the recruitment of his newest version of the Masters of Evil, most of the world's heroes had just seemingly sacrificed their lives to defeat Onslaught. Seeing this as an opportunity, Zemo and his Masters of Evil hid their true identities and began masquerading as a new hero team called the Thunderbolts. Their plan was to win the world's trust and then betray that trust to take it over. But as they continued to masquerade as heroes, Songbird and many of her Thunderbolt teammates began to enjoy the role of hero. Life was going well for Melissa until Zemo revealed his team's true identities to the world as part of the final stage of his plan. Songbird and most of the Thunderbolts turned against Zemo for ruining their chance to be heroes, leading to Zemo's defeat. The members of the group that had turned on Zemo would stay together as the Thunderbolts, operating as a fugitive hero team trying to prove to the world that they were reformed. Songbird would go on to have many more adventures in the Marvel Universe. Well, that's the origin of Songbird, and that'll do it for today's video. As always, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to stop by the channel and check out this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you again real soon. But until then, I'm outie. Peace.